This is a topic that has affected me and probably a lot of creators out there. We see videos of other creators and it looks perfect and ideal, and we are all wondering why the hell we are still not there. And we've been working our ass off for like years, and we don't realize that in that whole thing there is more than meets the eye, and it's definitely not the whole story. But comparison doesn't have to be the thief of joy. It can be used in a very healthy manner. Instead of being envious and be like, why do I not have this or why do I not have that? How about looking at it from a very different and more healthy perspective of what's actually possible and what's actually achievable out there? It needs to be used more as learning material rather than a comparison material. People do not realize what makes a filmmaker, a videographer, a photographer, a creator, an artist in general, and what defines how you do things is your life experience. And that results in a very unique thing where no two artists are the same. The way that you interpret life and the way that you record, archive and film things is going to be way different to somebody else. Your unique past experiences form your unique identity, and that identity forms the way that you do things, and you become your niche instead of falling in a general one. So think of it this way: what makes you is the journey. If you consider the video that you're making, the final, be the destination, then what matters is not the destination, but the journey. Because in this case, the journey heavily impacts what the destination is. You have your own past experiences, you have your own voice, you have your own style. And when you want to, let's say, create a brand or an audience, you will want them to follow you in your journey for who you are and how you do things, and not for something that you are not and you're just pretending to be. Because at some point you're either going to slip or you're going to change what you're doing, and once you do that, the audience will be like, what the hell is happening and who is that person? I think in a world where everything is like picture perfect and there is an idealization of influencers and creators and the life that they live, it would be good to see some truth in it, where you see the daily struggles. When I talk to the camera, I don't really like doing it. I feel very unease, for example, but I do it, and I do it in a way where I don't want it to be scripted or anything. I want it to be raw, so that whoever's on the other side sees who I am for what I really am. That's what's missing in the early days of vlogging, with Casey Neistat and all that stuff, where you would get just a pureness in recording life as it is, instead of trying to embellish it with all the pretty things. It makes you more human having mistakes, because humans are far from perfect. Stop focusing on what others do, what others achieve, and focus on your own journey. Because what you want to do and what you feel and what you go through is the most imperative thing in your life. It doesn't matter to anyone else, but it should matter to you. So once you start focusing and ignore the outside noise, you put your blinders on and you get to work, at least for me, that's when everything shifted. The way I film, it became more natural to me, and it felt more like me rather than trying to meet somebody else's expectation. And in light of everything that I talked about before, I'm gonna give you a few tips that really helped me find my way. Limit your scroll time. This is more to do with blocking the outside noise. You will be surprised on how many hours you actually spend on your phone on social media, when you could have all those hours being used for learning new filming techniques, learning lighting, learning sound. Tip number 2, create more than you consume. It's very simple. The more you work on it, the better you get at it. Tip number 3, a lot of people are aware of what they consume in terms of, food and drink and stuff like that. But not many people are aware of the information that their brain consumes. Follow people that you love their work, that you aspire to, and block out all the other noise. Last but not least, tip number 4, celebrate your small wins. Progress is not millions of followers, it's not the tons of engagement. Progress can be quite subjective, and it all depends on what you want. If you want to create high quality, if you want to create something that speaks to people. So be yourself, create what you like, and be proud of your work. Because don't forget that you will always be your #1 supporter. This concludes today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, like it, subscribe. You know, the thing that you do down there. See you on the next one. Go out there and create.